are Himalayan Hipsters, and I'm your host, Astha.
And I'm your host, Saika.
And this is our very first episode, and we are so excited to have you here. Today, we're going to try and introduce ourselves. This is going to be a two-part episode. So part one, I will tell you guys all about me and why I'm here. And part two, I'm going to interview Saika, and we're going to know everything about her so that you get to know your hosts better for the rest of our journey here with Himalayan Hipsters.
Absolutely. I am so excited for this segment because now we can share the whys and really get down to the nitty gritty.
Yes, exactly. We're going to talk about why we're here doing what we're doing now, why now, and we're going to get into the details of our lives and our stories and why we feel so passionately about doing this project, Himalayan Hipsters, and why we care so much about starting conversations.
Absolutely. So shall we begin?
Sure.
Awesome.
Let's do it.
All right. So, I really wanted to know you as well. I've known you for a very long time.
Mhm.
But recently how we encountered, how we met, you've grown so much in those many years,
Yeah.
and I have seen you blossom and mature and grow, and it's so beautiful. But there are some things that I wanted to know within, some of the challenges that you've been through,
Yeah.
some of the hurdles that you passed, what kind of support you had, what makes you right now. Like those are the things that I want to hear, because we connect in so many levels. But those are the things, so sometimes, you just skip those questions.
Exactly.
When we
Yeah.
meet. So that's where I want to go with,
All right,
with
let's
those.
do it.
You're excited?
Yeah, very.
Me too.
Yep.
So just starting, just give a little bit intro to, our listeners and our viewers about, just kind of where are you right now? Where are you in 2022?
Where am I in 2022? Okay, that's a heavy question. My life is very I know you're starting right off.
Right
yeah.
off.
Okay, so my life is very eventful, and so is yours. And right now in 2022, I am in a place where I finally feel ready to share my stories and my life.
Wow.
And my journey and things that I was trying to hold on to, and I'm letting go.
Right.
And I have let go of my fears. I've let go of anything that was holding me back, even the little things. I mean, people think I'm really out there and fearless, and
Right.
and I'm breaking barriers already, and I love that. But it wasn't true, I guess. At least not at the extent that I wanted to be.
Right.
And I truly feel like in 2022, I'm ready.
Right.
I am ready to really voice my opinions and really talk about what I think and what
Wow.
I want to say. And I have so
Right.
much to say to the world, and that's why we're here.
That's where
And that's where I'm in 22.
Wow.
And I guess the other thing is that I'm a musician, and I've been working as a freelance full-time musician artist, but now I have also been so in love with traveling,
Mhm.
and traveling is one of my passions, and I've
Right.
recently discovered that. And I guess now in 2022, I'm at a place where I want to travel the world, learn new things, explore the world, learn new cultures,
Right.
experience new things, and learn from them,
Right.
and share it.
Yeah.
Share it with the world. And I'm able to do all of that.
And the thing is, like, I have actually seen some of your reels on Insta.
Yes.
And the angles and the way that you were able to capture the city and, the beauty, and just kind of include yourself in the travels that you've been. I love your Spain travel, like your backpacking story.
Thank
And of
you.
course, in the new seeds that we're going to hear about, some of the travel ventures that you've been, and how budget, and how you've actually planned it way in advance, and that was just one part of your celebration. But I was just amazed because those videos are coming out now,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
So I am super excited.
I love the arts. And for me,
Yes.
everything, whether it's a building or language or food or dance or music or the way people express themselves,
Yeah.
our fashion, what people wear in the streets of different parts of the world,
Right.
to me, everything is art.
Yeah.
and that's how I see it. And so for me to be able to go out and explore and capture that and learn from it and put it in little reels, I just enjoy it.
Yeah.
I just love it.
I
So
I love it too. I mean, I'm like, even to the places that I've been to, I'm like, wow, that looks amazing. So I was like, that's something that kudos to you for like really getting that.
yeah.
And I'm so excited about your travel diaries and the future things that's going to come. So just you were talking about your career. You followed your passion, right, as a career. So, like, if you wanted to change one thing, or you wanted to implement one thing prior to starting your career, or prior to starting, or like starting your passion, like following the path, what would you tell to your young self?
Oh man. I was always so rebellious with my family, and
Yeah.
the things that I wanted to do, I kind of held myself back. And I mean, that's why I left, to pursue my passions.
Right.
And if there's one thing I would tell myself, I would, if I could talk to my younger self, I would tell her to do it earlier.
Wow.
I waited too long. I think there was a lot of things I stopped myself from doing
Right.
because of our culture, because of our family. I always wanted to belly dance.
Right.
I didn't do so much
Yeah.
because my dad didn't like it.
Right.
Which now I'm like, I should have kept doing it,
Yeah. Yeah.
And I guess now things are different, obviously in Nepal
Right.
too. But when I grew up, the way my family was, I mean,
Yeah.
they didn't really force me to stop, but their attitude towards it, their energy towards it really discouraged me.
Right.
And if I could speak to myself as to my younger self, all the things that I'm doing now, all the ways that I can be me,
Right.
unapologetically me, I would tell myself, my younger self, to be that way just from the get-go, from the
Wow.
start. And that's if I could change one thing, that would be it. If I could
That's
go back in time, I would be this version of me from
Yeah.
the get-go.
Wow.
You know?
That's powerful.
Yeah.
That kind of like, it's commendable, first of all, to actually follow your passion,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
That's already like, that's already big a takeaway.
And the thing is that the reason that we're doing this podcast, Himalayan Hipsters, this is a way for me to do that for other people.
Yeah.
The way I would tell myself to just do you, boo. You do you, boo. Go out there and find yourself and do your thing.
Right.
I want this show to encourage all the youths of the world to be
Right.
that way. And
Right.
that's why I think we're doing this. It's because
Yeah.
someone didn't do this for us. We want this to be our thing.
Right.
Show the world to do this.
Yeah. I am excited where this journey is going to take us,
Yes.
both of us.
Yes.
Yeah. It's beautiful, like how much support that we've got for this project. And I am just speechless right now.
I know.
Right? We're
know.
just
We're so
speechless.
thankful.
Yeah.
And
we're
so
very
grateful
thankful.
to all the people that have been so supportive,
Our
and we haven't
family
even launched
members,
this yet.
our friends who's really supporting us and rooting for us. And
yeah.
well, like I said, we're growing with this project, right?
Yeah.
We're growing. So going back to knowing you, I know like I've learned so much in this past few weeks about art, right? I've seen your paintings. There are some paintings that's here already, and some of these art, like you're into music. What drives you? Because you follow everything so passionately, from fashion to music to just everything. Like you even paint. You write music. I mean, you're a walking art.
Oh, thank
So,
you.
I mean, what gives you that drive?
Well, the reason that I truly love art, I guess in different stages of my life, I had different reasons for it.
Right.
But now that I come to understand myself even more, I've always just wanted absolute freedom,
Right.
true freedom. And when I say freedom, I'm not just talking about freedom in the society or freedom in free to wear whatever I want.
Right.
That's not it. I mean,
Right.
that should be just basic.
Right.
For me, freedom is to just do what I want and express what I'm feeling. And if I want to paint, there's something that I'm trying to express.
Right.
If I want to sing, there's something else I want to express.
Right.
And art gives me the freedom to be expressive in all ways.
Wow.
In in the way I dress. There's
Yeah.
a reason. Sometimes it makes me feel a certain way. I'm expressing certain things, and the same thing with music. Sometimes when I'm angry, I will sing with more power.
Right.
That's me now. But I guess when I was a child, I think it started. My family was musical, and I found freedom in music.
Right.
Right. And I have this weird spiritual connection to dance, belly dance.
Right.
And when I dance, I feel like I am in touch with my higher self. I can't
Wow.
explain it. It's
Yeah.
just how I feel. And that liberated me of it's just, it liberated my energy. It gave me
Right.
a way to channel it, just being me. And I felt
Right.
so good. And once you feel it, it's so
Mm-hmm.
hard to just ignore it.
Wow.
No one, you paint too, and we're going to bring
Yes.
this later. But once you know that you are able to express yourself in certain ways,
Yeah.
you can't just forget it. It's you. It's addictive. You taste that freedom of letting your energies out in different channels.
Yeah.
And I guess that's the thing. And once I know what it feels like to create,
Right. Right.
creating something, and to be honest, like human beings are blessed with the gift of creation. Like we can create language, we
Yeah.
can create art and paintings and
Right.
music. We capture moments in sound, we capture moments in videography or photos, like it's just such a beautiful way to capture human history. I
Yeah.
don't know.
No,
It's
no,
just,
no.
I
And,
love
and
art.
no, and the way you express it, even like for really, like
Yeah.
that's one thing that
I'm
I
sorry, I
have
went too
been
deep
no,
into
no, no,
it.
no, no. And it's beautiful because I have starting to now see that. Like, when we talk about like wearing clothes, for me it was just like a hoodie and a jacket,
Yeah.
right? You've given me a different perspective about the way you express yourself even with your clothes. I am just somebody, like I said, I'm just a person who just wear a hoodie. You've given me a different outlook about how we can really bring out your personality, not by being influenced, however, just by how you feel comfortable
The best ways to express yourself.
express.
Yeah.
And you see that in everything, and that's so, like, that is amazing.
Thank
Right.
you.
And I'm like I said, I'm learning so much from you in that aspect. That's what one of the things that I wanted to see, what gives you that drive. But yeah.
It's the search for freedom.
Yeah.
And the word freedom is so much deeper, and I'm
Yeah.
sure in future episodes,
Right.
we'll talk about it.
Yeah.
But I just want to say one more thing about that is that when, for example, you get to express your emotions and feelings in
Right.
all these ways, right?
Right.
It's not inside you anymore.
Yeah.
You are able to exist in this world and be yourself and express what you're feeling as a human being, and be that those things that you are able to express, you're like letting those energy, like the energy comes to you and you channel
Yeah.
it back to the universe in all these ways, right?
Yeah.
In art and all of that. So to me, I love it and I can't live without it.
Right. I see, like, I've seen your music. I've listened to you sing. I've listened the power of people gravitated towards your voice in the crowd. You know, I still feel goosebumps when I think about it, when I saw that video.
Stop.
No,
Really?
seriously.
Oh.
Like, I mean, it's the energy that, like how you can really have the crowd gravitate towards that, and really, because voice is energy. People really can really relate. They will forget when they hear music. They'll forget all of the stuff. That's why people love music, and you get to do that. And for you to navigate those emotions and those energies of every human being that you kind of encounter while you're singing, that is very powerful. And I see it on the stage. You have a beautiful voice.
Thank you.
You have a beautiful voice, and you express it so well.
Thank you.
So that was that.
Yeah.
I really wanted to.
That was not a question. You just
I
wanted to put that out.
Yeah, I just wanted to put that out there.
Thank you, though.
So we talked about current, where you are right now, in your professional, what passion drives you, and so about support when you wanted to do belly dance, but you didn't feel that support.
Mhm.
So did you have challenges in the sense of like, has this been always Astha? So many people have like family support, friend support, right? Where did you see that sense of support for yourself where you are right now? Where did you get that?
So,
or was it always
support.
independence?
Again, it depends upon which phase of my life.
Yeah.
But to be honest, there's different kinds of support, right?
Yes.
Until about I was 18, I did have financial support from my family. And I let that go, and I left because even though I had a place to live and somebody was paying for things, I didn't have freedom in the way I wanted to, who I really wanted to be.
And you came to this country which age?
I believe 13. I was 13 years old.
You're 13 years old when you came to
So
America.
from 13 to 18, I lived with my mom.
Okay.
And before that, obviously, I lived in Nepal with my grandparents.
Right.
So I did not feel supported in many ways. And of course, it's not always negative. There were different things that my family supported me with, right? But the things that really mattered to me, I did not feel the support. And by things that really matter to me, I mean like equality,
Right.
and supporting the things that I really wanted to do. And a lot of people can relate to this, where,
of course.
But I guess so from when I was in high school, I just decided, no, like I got to do things my way, because I knew what I wanted. There was like something that is there for you and you want to go get it, but you can't do it with that current environment you are in.
Right.
So you have to make a decision. Do I just stay comfortable and stay in this environment and not be able to test my potential? Or do I just take the risk and get myself out of this environment, put myself in a new one, see how far I can go, or see what I'm capable of? I wanted to know. I was just curious. I wanted to know if I can do all the things that I have thought that I could do,
Right.
And I didn't know where that was taking me.
Right.
I just left. I left home at 18 for many reasons. One of the reasons was because I just wanted to follow my passions and all that.
Right.
And ever since that, I haven't had the kind of support you would expect from family. My mom was always supportive.
Yes.
She was still holding back because there's so many things that go behind the scenes with the culture and tradition and all that. But in all the places that mattered, my mom supported me in certain ways. But I've been financially independent since then, and along the ways I've met many people, friends, people that it's never really alone. Right. There's always some kind of support, whether it's friends or mental support, or like friends just being there for you. And I have never really had constant people supporting me all the way, but every moment in my life I always had somebody to at least give me the emotional support, to be like, okay, I'm here for you, you can do this, or something like that. And obviously there's been ups and downs.
Yeah.
And I've had friends, and now my partner Masa is just the most supportive person I've actually ever encountered in my life.
Amazing.
More than my parents, more than my family.
Right.
He's shown me the way. I mean, I guess Masa has shown me that what true support is.
Right.
What it is to be truly supported and loved. Not loving for who he thinks I should be, or not loving me for who he expects me to be.
Right.
He showed me what it's like to feel loved without changing myself at all.
Right.
He showed me what it's like to be loved for just who I am.
Wow.
And that was the first time I ever have had somebody do that. So now I feel supported to the max.
And you have a different meaning of support.
Yeah. And I can be who I am now.
Yeah.
I guess that love showed me that, oh shit, like I can be me, and I don't care if people hate me for it, because I already have somebody that loves me for it.
Right. Wow. I mean, that is the support, as you've mentioned. There is different kinds of support in every phases of your life, right? Every season has a different support.
Exactly.
Yeah. And I don't know, a lot of people know, probably they do, but you were Miss Nepal USA.
Yes.
Were you one of the first batch?
No. I was second. Sujita Basnet was first.
Oh,
She's an amazing,
right.
amazing woman. Hi, Sujita. But
Right.
no, I was a second.
You were the second
Yeah.
batch. Wow. That is, how old were you?
18.
You were 18
Yes.
at the time.
Yes.
When you first won your Miss Nepal USA.
Yeah.
How was that like when you were 18?
I guess it was a great experience.
Right.
The thing is that was the first year Miss Nepal US, not the first, the second year Miss Nepal US is happening. It was a new thing that they were trying out.
Right.
I can't expect them to be perfect.
Right.
But I mean, honestly, it took a lot away from it. It helped me with like being in front of the crowd, being judged. Listen, a lot of people talk so much shit about pageants.
Yeah.
But for you to be so vulnerable and open, to be judged by a panel of judges and the crowd, and you're walking with all these heels and clothes and makeup and
at 18.
At 18, and so many young girls do it much younger. I mean, it just takes you to a different level of accepting yourself, or like being prepared for anything, and answering a random question suddenly out of nowhere, and being judged for it. You're kind of out there, and I learned a lot from it.
You're still trying to figure out at 18, and
At
for
18,
at 18, and to have that poise, and to know exactly what to say.
I must say though, when I was 18, I was still trying to find out who I really was.
Right.
Because growing up in my family in Nepali culture, there's a lot of things that I didn't know about myself because I wasn't able to explore.
Right.
Because I was always told what to do and what to be and what to sound like and how to be, and at 18, I was not really sure of who I really was, because everyone's always telling you what you should be like, what you should sound like, especially when you're younger, especially in Nepal, right? So I was just like a mixture of all those confusing thoughts of who I was.
Right.
And I was still trying my best.
Yeah.
And at the time, that's who I was, I guess, but obviously if I was in that position now, I would have done things a little differently, I'm sure. But overall, the experience was amazing.
Wow.
Yes.
Yeah, I mean, like, I so proud of you.
Thank you.
I mean, just to be at 18 and be stage ready with that much confidence to really own that, because it takes a lot, right? It does. For somebody going out there, it's not easy. I mean, people right now, even having a meeting and having a presentation, you need to have that confidence. You need to have that courage, and for you to do at 18, that's
I
really
must say
good.
though, one thing about me is I always loved being on stage. And I, if you ask my friends who I went to school with in Nepal, I would always, like, when we had like parents' night and we had shows, I would be in multiple acts. Like I would be either dancing and singing and being in like theatrical stuff, and even in high school I was in theater, I was in choir, I was touring with the choir band. I got to sing for President Obama.
Oh my gosh.
And Michelle Obama.
Yeah.
And
so jealous.
What I'm saying is I was always trying to get on stage.
Right.
And then it wasn't really about the lights and the glamour. I've always wanted true freedom.
Right.
And I felt like when I'm on stage, I could be whoever I wanted to be. That helped me experiment with that strength that comes with it, because when you tell someone, okay, for 10 minutes, just stand over there and act like you could be whoever you want whatever you want to be, I'm sure they're going to act stronger and more powerful and more confident. And that's actually truly what we really want to be like. But we have all these layers of identities that we have created to fit into our societies. Right? And that stops us from really expressing who we are, expressing who we are. But when I get on stage, I feel like I could just take all of those layers out and just be. And then I could be anything. And that's what I felt as a kid too on stage. So I've always loved being on stage because of that. So I guess that I had that one advantage over the others, that I was always on stage. I grew
Mhm.
up on stage and I love being on it. So that wasn't a factor of like, I wasn't fearful of it.
Right, right. Ooh, because like we're doing this project, and you've helped me.
And so have you. You've helped me.
Yeah, you've helped me in how to really accept yourself, because you are putting your vulnerabilities out. You are trusting what is exactly being expressed for yourself.
Yeah.
You're doing all of that.
Yeah.
And when are these, social norms are kind of, those things are embedded of how you should look like, what would people think of me? Oh my God, am I saying the right thing? All of these stuff will come right like flashing
Yeah.
in your face.
Yeah.
And this past few weeks, the exercises, the mental preparedness, and how you've shown that much of confidence, the way that you expressed and explained to me about owning it,
Mm.
I'm able to do this.
Yeah.
I'm able to express myself
Yeah.
more.
Yeah.
So yeah, I just
You wanted to mention that. No, but the thing is that we are expected to be perfect all the time.
Yeah.
Especially in our cultures, like especially girls.
Yeah.
And you can make mistakes. Life is about making mistakes and learning from them. I mean, obviously there are certain things that you shouldn't be doing, and obviously you shouldn't be killing people and stuff
Right,
like that.
right.
We're not going to go there.
Of course.
But little mistakes that we learn from are very important. And I've made many mistakes in my life, and I've learned from them, and I'm better for it. If I didn't make those mistakes,
right,
I would be incomplete. I wouldn't know myself as much as I do now.
right. Yeah.
So
sorry.
what I was trying to tie back into that is that to really own yourself and to be yourself, I guess it takes practice.
It does.
Because again, we grew up in an environment where everything that people tell you is against who you really are.
Right.
They always tell you can't do this. What are people going to say? What about the society? And what about our this? And what about our that? And you did this wrong and you should be doing this better. Oh my God. Let us learn.
Yep.
Let us grow. Let us experience. Let us change with time. Let us keep up with the world. So many things.
You're right.
Oh my God. And not only that, it's like, fuck, I lost my train of thought. But ever since I was a little girl, and I've always been this way, when my family would tell me, what are people going to say? What are people going to think? I guess ever since I was a tiny little girl, I always said, I don't care what people say. They're not living my life for me. They're not paying your bills, and we get one chance at life. And I'm not going to spend it thinking and worrying about all these things.
Yeah.
And I know you guys do, because that's how it is for you. But I should be able to make that decision for myself of how I want my life to be. It's my life.
Yeah.
And and that's the other thing. Like owning yourself is understanding that your life is so precious and valuable. You get to make those decisions for yourself.
Mm-hmm. That's powerful. So going back to Astha and AsthaZylah, right? What plans do you have for the next 6 or let's say 2 years from now?
Okay. Well, I'm really bad at planning. I have gone with the flow and I'm happy where it's taken me.
Right.
I do have plans. It's not like I don't have plans. But I guess what I've learned is that you have a destination and you start heading that way. And as you're heading that way, you decide that, okay, oh my God, this is taking me somewhere else. And that's actually where I really want to go. So I've let life take me places and I've learned from it and I'm improvising as I go. But at the same time, in the next 6 years, what I hope to be doing, and I've always wanted to do actually, was to be a catalyst for change. There were many things that I wish I had when I grew up, and I've wanted to give that back. At a certain time in my life, I wanted to open a music school in Nepal. and empower the youth and empower the LGBTQ
Yeah.
plus individuals growing with so much confusion in our culture. I've always wanted to use the arts to empower people, young people, women, and that was too big. I think it was not possible, I guess. But I've always wanted to use art for something bigger than myself to
Right.
heal.
Right.
And now I found this.
Yeah.
And I really, this is what I hope for Himalayan hipsters. And for the next 6 years, I hope to use this platform to share voices of people that feel silenced,
Right.
to talk about issues that are kind of shunned upon or like
Right.
forbidden,
Right.
but are so important and affect so many lives.
True.
And
Yeah.
share ideas and
Wow.
and encourage and empower other people like me and young people and so many
Right.
people in the world.
Yeah. I'm excited for that too.
Yeah.
So, you said that you were here like just barely in your teens. You've seen a side of Nepali society. You've seen the culture, but you were also very meshed with, America, United, like this culture, right?
Yeah.
What were some of the challenges, or do you feel like you are who you are?
Yeah.
You know exactly, this is my life, I will do it. But there must be something that is kind of holding you back, like something that's holding you.
Yeah. I
know?
mean, listen, like we grew up with so much conditioning, so many people telling us what we should be like, what we should sound like, all these things. Again, always comes back to this because the way we are raised, our environment, our conditioning is so important to shaping who we are going to be, right? And unraveling those obviously took me a lot of time. And I guess to answer your question, nothing. I have come far enough, and I have been working behind, like, you people don't see it. I don't post this,
Yeah.
right? I've been working on myself to let go of these things.
Wow.
And kind of open these layers that I've built around me, the shell. And now, like, no, there's nothing holding me back. I'm not going to do something just because it's done a certain way. I'm not going to be someone just because it's expected of me. I've completely let go of those things. Like, I hope so. At least that I think so. I think I
Right.
have, and yeah.
If it was, then you would definitely, that would be something on your mind.
Yeah.
Right.
Exactly.
But when you're saying that it doesn't, means that you are sort of liberated.
Freedom. I have given myself freedom.
You understood, you loved yourself, you let go of those expectations, you are confident, you love, every part of you, you respect, and you believe in yourself. And that's one of the things that has, I feel, accounts to what are you feeling right now?
That's like a great question, because that really brings me back to this, is that, remember I was talking about freedom?
Yes.
That I always wanted to find true freedom.
Yeah.
This question really made me realize that what I think about freedom now is that because I've let go of all of these things in the process, one thing I learned is that all my life I've been searching for true freedom. And I realized that I'm the only person who can give it to myself. The kind of freedom I'm looking for.
Yeah.
Where, of course, I can like worry about what other people think. I could worry about so many things.
Right.
But I've accepted the fact that the only thing I can control in the world is myself and my thoughts and my reactions to other things. And if I can control that, and if I can just be me, that's true freedom. I could do anything that other people hate. But if I just don't give a shit about that,
Yeah.
and I'm still doing it because I love doing it, there's nothing no one can say, or there's nothing anyone can say that can make me question myself.
Wow.
So I guess I wanted to, put that out there, that the only person that can give you true freedom is yourself. You have the key to unlock that cage that you think you're in.
That's so right.
So
right.
Oh God. I have to take it there. But no, it's true. Like,
Yeah.
I really, That's what I've learned in my life so far.
We have gone to your, passion. We've gone to some of your where you started your journey,
Yeah.
where you were here, some of the things that makes you you, um, and we've talked about your strengths. Those the stuff that we just brought up. That's Astha's strengths.
Mm-hmm.
What are your weaknesses?
I knew you were going there. Well, first of all, let me just start by saying that you can use your weaknesses as your strengths, and that's something
Absolutely, yeah.
I've mentioned before. So I have many weaknesses that I have used to kind of be me.
Right.
One of my weakness, or at least the world considers a weakness, is that I have tried to just focus on one thing, like just music or just art or just, like something. And what I realized is that that's the corporate mentality telling me to commercialize your strengths or commercialize your art,
Mm-hmm.
and that's not a bad thing. I guess we need it to survive, but my weakness is that I can't do that. I can't compromise my sense of freedom because of this corporate world we live in. So I guess you know what I'm talking about, or are you confused? Like, for example, people have said, "Oh, just do music and be really good and like go to American Idol."
Yeah.
And, like all of that,
Yeah.
and they come from a good place.
Yeah.
But I can't just do music. I love video. I love photos, and I love taking photos, and I love traveling, and I love talking about issues that I really care about, and I love creating art. I love painting, and all these things that I take a lot of my time.
Right.
And many people have told me before that like just go out there and just focus on one thing and
Right.
have that one plan. And that's my weakness because I tried it and I was unhappy. And true happiness for me lies in expressing myself in all of these ways. And I'm trying to make it work and I'm trying to find a way. That's one of my weaknesses. Other weakness of mine, which is also a strength actually, is that I cannot just keep I can't just let things go to keep the peace. If I feel like something isn't right, I'll start a drama. I'll start some shit. I'm not going to stay silent for like, and this comes in my family is like, we were told to be respectful of your elders no matter what. And that's wrong. If someone older than you is saying some bullshit and hurting other people or something, you got to speak out. And I've always been that person. And that's my weakness. I can't just let things go or let things slide to keep the peace. I don't believe in that. I believe in like standing up for what's right. And sometimes that's a weakness because sometimes you got to plan things and play games, but I can't. I just speak my mind. And that weakness, like right now, we're turning it into strengths now, by speaking about them here in our podcast. So that's, and I mean, obviously I have many weaknesses. These are not the only two. I can't think of all of them right now, but everyone has strengths. And everybody has weaknesses. And understanding them will be very helpful.
It's how you channel your weakness. Right.
It's how you
It's how you channel your weakness. Either you can really have a pity party or just let that negativity just
turn your weaknesses into your strengths. That's it. Turn your weaknesses into your strengths. Like if people tell you that you talk too much, talk about things that matter to you and start a podcast. That's what we're doing. We've both been told that we talk too much or we are too passionate about certain topics. And now we've turned those weaknesses that other people thought were our weaknesses into our strengths and starting a project. So turn your weaknesses or perceived weaknesses in other people's eyes, turn them into your strengths. Use them. Those are your qualities. Those are your strengths.
Those are
I don't know, but
I feel like there's only strengths.
Well, you know what? Road rage is a weakness. I hate stupid drivers. Okay, that's a weakness. I can't turn that into a strength. I have been trying to stay calm.
Okay, I think That's very honest answer.
Sorry.
I vouch for that. I
Yeah.
personally experienced that.
Yes.
It's like Zen. What? Like
Yeah, I'm like all listening to peaceful music, and then I'm like, what the fuck are you doing? Fuck you, bitch! Go back in your lane. This ain't your lane. Learn how to drive. Go back to school. I suddenly turn into this.
And
Yeah.
I'm like, what happened?
Yeah. Many people have just been like, because I just in a drop of a pen, like
It's your trigger point.
Yeah.
That's your trigger point.
Yeah.
Okay.
Anyway,
I'm gonna make sure when I drive in front of you, I'm gonna be careful.
I'm working on it.
Okay.
But I mean, okay, I have a lot Weaknesses. Those
Okay.
are just some.
Of course,
I'm not saying that
of course.
better in all of the
No,
ways.
no. Of course.
Those are the ones that stand out to me.
So, okay, let's make this interesting.
Okay.
All right. So tomorrow, somebody just hands you over $50 million USD, not Nepali.
Okay.
Okay.
$50 million.
$15 million. Cash. Taxes, everything's gone.
Okay.
You just
Well,
get
I have
50.
50 million to spend.
50.
Okay.
But you can only spend in two stuff.
Two things? I can only spend in two things. Those are big investments.
I know. I just had to make that hard. Yo, nothing in life comes it easy.
Okay, fine.
Okay.
I'll take the $50 million and find two things to spend it on. Actually, one thing I would be spending money on was that little, project to start institutions in therapy and art therapy, things in Nepal and for women and for children all over the world. I think 25 million can do that. Yeah. At least started.
Yep.
And the other 25 million I'd spent on building a business and building generational wealth, and investing. Because then after that, I have so much potential to do so many more things.
Yeah.
I'd just invest in myself. Yeah.
Good choice.
I would spend half to invest in the world, and I'd spend half to invest on me.
Yeah.
I think that's good.
I think like I think you would
That's a good one.
That's a really good one. That's a really good one.
Because that covers a lot of things,
Okay. I mean, so I know you're a foodie.
Ooh. I'm hungry now.
I know you're a foodie.
Yes.
You have a sweet tooth as well.
How do you know?
I know you.
Okay.
I'm your Maizu.
You are my Maizu. Amazing. This is amazing. Yeah.
So, if you were stuck in an island.
Oh. You got to put me on an island now?
Yes.
With all that money, and now I'm on an island?
Yes.
Okay.
You're on an island.
I'm in an island, yes.
And you were given the option. Okay. And you're hungry. You're just like famished. So hungry.
That's like, already I'm like sad.
So sorry.
It's okay.
There's no coconuts as well.
No fruits. What kind of island is this?
There's nothing.
If it's an island, there's water around it. There has to be something.
No. It's just a deserted island with just really poisonous shrubs and there's nothing there for you to eat.
So this is Hunger Games, and you created this.
Yes,
okay,
I did.
Okay,
it's in my head right now. So that's that.
All right.
Okay. So now I'm painting. Okay. Yes, I painted the picture. Yes. And you've been given this 5 foods to order.
So I can order on this island.
Order meaning like like it just you think and it just comes.
Oh.
The 5 food. It's got it's a portal. Okay, just think about it. The island has a portal.
So can I order seeds from the portal and plant them?
Absolutely. I mean, it's a food, right? In the end of the day, but there's no water. There's no water around. It's ocean. It's basically sea water. Nothing can get harvested.
And I can only order food from this portal.
Yes, 5.
Damn. Can I order water? How much of it can I order? Because I'm thinking I would order some fruits and plant the seeds so I can have more foods.
You just went next level.
I know, because I'm thinking I got to survive there. Not just 5 meals. I have to survive there.
So the point was if you're famished at that level, I guess that my question, I guess I need to finish it.
Okay.
So you were famished. It's so like you're hardcore hungry.
Yes.
And you were given that 5 option, like that 5 food option. What would be that 5 that on your table that you would eat? And you're just like, you're
Well,
like,
first of all, if I'm this hungry, I'd eat anything. Right?
That's
Okay.
a good point. That's a good point.
I mean, forget about being demanding. Like, you give me like raw potatoes, I'll eat that shit. You know?
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, if I'm that hungry. But if you're like, if it's just like 5 things I would absolutely need in my life,
Yes.
5 foods that I can't live without, then okay, 5 foods that I cannot live without. Fruits, definitely. I
Yeah.
eat fruits every day. Lots
What
of
type
fruits.
of fruits?
Oh
Everything.
my god, like I like mangoes. I love grapes. I love dragon fruit. I
Mm.
love oranges. I mean, sometimes I'm thirsty and I don't want to drink water. I eat a lot of fruits. Actually, I love watermelon. Like, I love fruits.
Mm.
I could just eat fruits all day and not have a cooked meal. I could do that.
Mm.
You know, sometimes I crave something salty every now and then, but if I could just eat like one type of food,
Yeah.
I would pick fruits.
You'd pick.
Yeah,
fruits.
I'd pick fruits.
Okay.
Yeah.
So there's 4
That's-
more.
Okay. I
Okay, let's make it 3.
3
let's,
more.
Let's make it let's make it 2 more since one was fruits.
Yeah. Okay. So I love dumplings.
Mm.
Yeah, I love momos, obviously.
Of course.
But as I've traveled, every culture has some form of dumplings,
Yeah.
actually. Every country has their own form of dumplings, and I love trying them because it's good. You know?
It is.
Anyway,
They have
dumplings.
their yeah.
Dumplings. Oh my god, I'm so hungry now.
Me
Why are
too.
you doing this
I have
to me?
no idea. Why did I do that to myself?
You're probably hungry too, and you're thinking of
Yes.
food. Now
right,
both of us are here hungry.
Let's take this conversation
Okay.
another way. Okay. So we kind of got a little bit about food and what is your mindset about when wealth comes into picture. That's
When
what
what comes into
wealth,
Wealth,
because
yeah.
because that's something that you always kind of like, for me, those were I've always been keen about like what people would think about those things.
Yeah.
So these questions that I'm asking you is like my curiosity, about who you are. I have learned a few things. I've learned a lot of new things today of how you feel and how you really relate. And I've heard some parts of it, but today was a lot of clarity on those explanations.
Huh?
Yeah,
That's good.
Yeah, it was
Yeah.
a lot of clarity.
Yeah.
If you were able to give a message
Yes.
to someone out there who's listening to you with intentions, and that would impact their life, you would be able to bring value into their life. Tomorrow they're going to wake up and say, like, you know what? Let's start the conversation.
Yeah.
What would that be?
Man, so many things. I mean, if people are really out there listening to me and I could say anything, I would say that we can't wait for change to happen,
Mhm.
right? We're always going to be waiting. We're always going to be waiting on somebody else. Be the change you want to see, And it's so true. It's like, I mean, talking about so many things, like, I'll just stick to women's issues for now, women's issues in Nepal, because there's so much happening in Nepal right now in Nepalese media of
Mhm.
the struggles of women and children.
Right.
And there are things that are just not right.
Mhm.
And we know it's not right.
Mhm.
But we just sometimes tend to just wait for those things to change around us.
Yeah.
Or we don't even think about it. We know that it's wrong. We know that something is wrong, but we just tell ourselves, oh, this is how it is, and move on. And we just can't let that happen anymore. When I know that there's a better way, when I know that a better way is possible for everybody,
Mhm.
not just for one group of people,
Right.
then I just can't let it happen, or just
Right.
can't live.
And those
knowing-
are not cultural.
No.
No. Those things are
It's
not
toxic.
cultural anymore.
Even if it's culture, it's toxic.
no, I mean,
If it's causing harm, we got
right,
to change it.
right.
Like,
Like
if it's hurting people, we're gonna bring it down.
right. Like,
Period.
I
You know?
like when it's cultural, I mean, like how we respect our elders, they also have expectations, when they bring us to this world. And culture is what brings us together, what builds us together, right? Traditions are those. But if what's happening right now, when we hear stuff, that's beyond culture and traditions.
It's not just happening now. I mean,
I mean,
okay. I
yes,
mean, well,
yes.
okay. Let's talk about that real quick. Like, where does the culture that we know come from, and who created it?
Mm-hmm.
All the systems that we have now in the world were created by men for men,
Mm-hmm.
right? There was no place for women in this culture, I guess,
Mm-hmm.
or in many cultures.
Yeah.
Let's talk about Nepali culture, and even America, right? Even the so many things. It was just the system we live in was made by a man for a man. And so when we're talking about preserving this culture, and I mean, think about it this way: if our current culture gives more power and privilege to
Yeah.
cisgendered men,
Yeah.
if our current culture gives more privilege and power to a certain group of people, whether it's because of their gender or because of their caste or because of their status or whatever, um, why would they want to change anything? They would
Mm-hmm.
love to preserve that power and position, right?
Yeah.
And these people will defend their own privilege and power by calling it cultural.
Yep.
Like calling it culture, calling it, oh, but this is how it's been. You're attacking our culture. No, you're scared of losing this privilege,
Mm-hmm.
you know?
Absolutely. Yeah.
So we got to talk about that.
We gotta talk about that.
And not only that, it's like, if we want to know how to make a difference in the world, if we want to know how to change something, if we want to know how to do anything, we got to understand, why is this happening in the first place, right?
Mm-hmm.
And that starts with us understanding the why. How do we understand the why? How do we understand the why?
By starting a conversation
And asking questions.
and asking questions.
We ask questions. We ask, why is this the way it is? Why do we do this? At least I
Yeah.
want to know. Okay, fine. If this is culture, if this is why, if this is tradition, why? And asking questions and starting conversations is so frowned upon,
Yep.
and that's not right.
That's like
And
radical change.
yeah,
I mean, like they would think that
they
this
would
is
think
just
that this is radical.
they would think that
I
this
just
is
want to
radical.
know, like, is asking to be treated equally, isn't that radical? Just asking to have equality among all human beings, that's not radical. They will paint this as radical because it's attacking their privilege.
Yeah,
but
sure.
It's not radical. This is just that's people should be treated equally.
True.
And that's not radical.
Yeah.
We are not even getting to the radical part.
Yeah,
you know.
Yeah. Agreed.
Yeah. So if people out there are listening to me and really want to know what I stand for, or really want to understand what I'm trying to do, is starting these conversations and starting difficult conversations and normalizing them. And that's what we're doing as Himalayan hipsters. And I'm not just trying to do that for this podcast.
Yeah.
That is who I am. And if you know me, and if you know me personally, that's who I am 24/7.
Mm-hmm.
I will stand up for these things, and I will let go of relationships for these things. I will let go of people I care about for
what you stand for.
what I stand for. So yeah. And I want people to join us in this journey.
Yep. Absolutely.
So if you're hearing this, and if you're listening to this, if you're watching this, please don't forget to share, like, subscribe, hit that little bell, because we need all of that. And if you support the things that we're talking about, if you support our ideas and our vision, please share this. And if you want to have conversations and talk about things and share topics that you would want us to talk about, we need to know. And we really want to have all the conversations that we can have. But this is only part 1 of the introduction of your hosts for Himalayan Hipsters. Now you got to know all about me. And stay tuned, because in our next episode, we're going to talk to Saika and ask her all these questions and get to know her journey and why she is here with us today and has given all her time and energy to this project. So stay tuned, and we're going to be back with you for our part 2 of this episode, but then that's going to be a next episode. So yeah. Yeah. So
I'm
we will
excited.
see you in that one.
Yeah.
Yes.
All right. Thank you guys for tuning in and
Watching us.
watching us.
And sharing us and liking us and subscribing to us.
Please support us.
Yes.
That would mean the world to us. Just the support.
Yeah.
So thank you guys for listening in.
Thank you so much for tuning in. Bye, y'all. We'll see you in the next episode.
See you in the next episode.